Brother, alhamdulillah, today I have two questions for you, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you the wisdom and the sabr, inshallah, on us, inshallah, and to benefit us, inshallah.
The guidance,
Brother,
inshallah.
the first question, brother, is about Mufti, brother. We want you to explain to us the difference between a alim and a Mufti, and how the person become a Mufti.
Right.
That's the number one, brother. And the second question, brother, is about the Muftis when they are working in our Muslim communities in different places in the world. Let's say, in each environment, each place has its own environment, its own, traditions and, whatever. Especially when the Mufti is working, let's say, in, now we are different countries, different, circumstances. Can you please explain to us that sometimes the fatwa it's different because of the situation, because of the environment, so how we can deal with that so that we don't think that this is like dividing the Muslims or not, or just this is because of the environment or because of the the situation. Can you please
Right.
so that we could understand what's happening around us? And plus, brother, how do we know this is a Mufti, that he is a good Mufti or he's a bad Mufti? I mean, or he's that I have to follow him or not.
طيب خير إن شاء الله.
جزاكم الله
عادي
خير.
إن شاء الله. بارك الله فيك. أحسن الله إليك. Our brother, regular viewer, Ra'fat from New York, actually he has asked a very critical, beautiful question. And this can guide us to a main point, how to judge someone as a scholar, as a Mufti, how to take from him, how to put him in the proper position. First, what is the difference between a scholar and Mufti? There is a huge, big difference. And you cannot easily classify someone as a Mufti. It is easy to classify him as a knowledgeable person or as a scholar. For instance, I will give you a very clear instance. Am I a Mufti? I cannot claim that I am a Mufti. Ya Sheikh, you are in Islamica, you are given fatwa, yeah? You are answering the questions. Are you a Mufti? I would say, no, actually, I cannot classify myself as a Mufti. But I can transfer, I can deliver the Mufti fatwa. I have this qualification to bring the fatwa from the scholars, from the Mufti, and to put it here in front of you and to deliver it. So I cannot classify myself as a Mufti. And nowadays, today, it is not easy to call someone the Mufti who is qualified and expert and has the ilm, the knowledge to give fatwa. It's not easy. And that's why the scholars themselves today decided to establish what is so-called a council of fatwa. So they have no day, they do not have this day, yeah, to give fatwa alone, by themselves. They decided to make council of fatwa, European council of fatwa, global council of fatwa, Islamic organization of the panel of fatwa. So all those organizations, they decided to Darul Ifta, the house of fatwa, where you can find many scholars are gathering, discussing, researching, trying to liberate the ruling and give the fatwa all together. Maybe there will be a head manager, a head scholar, a head alim who will approve it, but they all of them need to sign it. This is the proper way to accept fatwa today. Again, what is the difference between alim and mufti? Alim, who's a scholar, who's a knowledgeable person, who knows about the ruling and its evidences. That's it. This is the alim role to play. He knows the ruling of something and he will bring to you the evidence of that ruling. Ruling means whether it is haram, halal, recommended, detestable, permissible, non-permissible. This is a ruling. Right. So if you ask the alim, what is the ruling of drinking alcohol? This is the alim, yeah? This is the alim. The alim would say it is haram, major sin. So where is the evidence? The alim will recite, the scholar will recite a verse of Surah Al-Ma'idah. O you who believe, إنما الخمر والميسر والأنصاب والأزلام رجس من عمل الشيطان فاجتنبوه. This verse is the evidence that verify the ruling or confirm the ruling of the prohibition of drinking alcohol in Islam. Right. This is the alim now has finished his duty. He cannot give you more than that. This is the scholar. This is the knowledgeable person. The mufti is much further. The mufti will consider the person himself, the questioner, the person who asked the question, and the place where the questioner were located, and the time of the fatwa, of the question itself. So the mufti is much further. Maybe the ruling will change. So the ruling can change? Yes, of course. And this is the answering of your second question. The fatwa can also change the ruling. How come, ya Sheikh? If Allah said it very clearly, drinking alcohol is haram, and the evidence is verse in Quran, how can we change that? I will tell you one tiny example. Someone, I said that I always give this example. Someone, he asked the scholar, am I allowed to drink alcohol? No, it is haram in Islam. Where is the evidence? He recited the verse of Surah Al-Ma'idah. But if that person, in some other circumstances, he was in a flight, he was in a desert, he didn't find anything to drink, he was about to die out of thirsty. So what is the ruling now? He found only a bottle of wine. Yeah? So what is the ruling now? Is that prohibition has changed to become permissible now, to become permissibility, to become allowed now? Something haram has become halal? Yes, the mufti, this is the ruling of, this is the duty, or this is a qualification of the mufti. So it is not easy. And that's why some of the scholars refused to give fatwa. Yeah, just to be in the safe side. No, they always say, no, I'm not qualified to give fatwa. I will give you the ruling, but I cannot give you fatwa for your specific case. And that needs a lot of qualifications. That needs someone who spent almost most of his life seeking knowledge, and he knows the ruling, the hadith, the Quran, the tafsir. He knows the lugha, the language, the Arabic language by which the revelation has been sent, or in which the revelation has been sent, Quran and Sunnah. So the mufti does need some more further qualification to become in this position. And I claim, this is a claim, this is that it is too hard to achieve all those qualifications nowadays. So it is better to be humble and to know where is your level exactly. And it is also, to be in the safe side, we need a group of scholars to give a specific fatwa. Fatwa usually will be required in something that hasn't been discussed before. Yeah? So if the scholars, the four madhab, discussed something, we don't really need fatwa in what they have been approved already, because they are closer to the era of the Prophet ﷺ. They know better than us. And more importantly, actually, let me say it frankly, they are more righteous than us. So their opinions will be much, much more accurate than ours today. So if something has been discussed already, let us accept it as it is. They discussed it. They have different views. They have different opinions. They have different ijtihadat, and they have different fatwa. So don't establish new fatwa on something that has been discussed before. But if something hasn't been discussed before, okay, flip on all the books of fiqh regarding watching TV, for instance, watching television. Is that something happened before? No. During Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal or Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam Malik, Imam Shafi'i, there was no TV at that time. So they definitely did not discuss it. In such new things, in such new modern things that hasn't been found before, we need fatwa from the scholar. Watching TV, I'm just giving an example. Watching TV is halal, by the way. We don't need fatwa. And I cannot generalize it. If you watch something haram in the TV, it is haram. If you watch something halal in the TV, it is halal. So it is ambiguous, and it can be seen from different perspectives. But I'm just giving you an example that something new, something hasn't been happened before. Vaccine, halal. This is a fatwa or has been discussed before? No, it is a fatwa because it is something new. During their era, there was no vaccine. Maybe if there was a vaccine, many people wouldn't die. Yeah? Because we have those kind of pandemics that millions of people passed away in a very short time. So nowadays, alhamdulillah, we have this technology, we have this development, which is giving people a new chance to live. But vaccine, as a matter of religious matter, yeah, when it comes to ask about it, it is fatwa. We cannot claim that it is something has been discussed before, so we don't need fatwa. No, we need fatwa today. So many examples can be given in such matter that the fatwa is it changeable? Yeah, can it changeable? I'm not saying twisted. No, it is changeable according to the person, the questioner, according to his place, and according to the time. So the time is as well is a factor that does affect the ruling, and it can give you to fatwa. People who live somewhere else in the world, they need their own fatwas, and people who live here, they need their own fatwa. And that's why this is another beautiful question, by the way. The Mufti himself needs to live where the place of fatwa is, so that he can imagine, so that he can liberate and think and check all the circumstances and confirm his opinion. You cannot bring some sheikh from overseas to give us fatwa here. Sorry to say that. I will give you one example. Many of the big scholars and big muftis, mashallah, they allowed us to eat from any restaurant in the UK. They said it is permissible. Why? Because the UK is mainly from the people of book, so their religion is Christianity, and we as a Muslim allowed to eat their meat. Okay, this fatwa cannot be applicable here, because we knew that even though we are in a country which is adopted mainly the Christianity, it doesn't mean that all animals have been slaughtered. Some of them has been